Well, now it's time for the afternoon play, which is set in Tudor England and is about the life of Anne Boleyn, the second wife to King Henry VIII and the mother of Elizabeth I, whose ghost is still reputed to haunt her family home in Norfolk.
Black Queen to King's Castle by Peter Wolfe, with Katherine Pogson as Anne Boleyn and David Troughton as Henry VIII.
In the cold grey night I lie like a saint, limbs of stone, eyes of glass, as they fight to open and adjust to my prison. I glimpse on the floorboards beside me, what? Black feathers, white bone, the skeleton of a raven. It is headless. And I remember this jail is no dungeon, but a tower, waiting for dawn, and my day of judgment. Through a crack under my prison door, the grey light turns bluer. I must hide in the last shadows of night while I can. If I keep away from the dawn, they can't hurt me, can they? Because it won't quite yet be morning. And locked in her tower, the most hated woman in England can stay alive a few minutes longer. If only I could move away from the light. Oh, how long have I lain here on the floor? It feels like forever. Oh, my right hand twists upright, fingers open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, left hand, fingers open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, yes. My left hand bears witness to my guilt. That's what they say, and why I'm imprisoned. Anne Boleyn and her 11 fingers, her deformities, the mark of a witch. That's what they'll say again this morning when they enter with their Bibles and lies and bid me take the longest walk from my cell to a scaffold by the Thames. Anything to be rid of me. Yet, when it suited them, my imperfections were overlooked. I was valued, wanted, requested, hunted, fed, watered, lured, and poached from the grounds of my family home.
I kill already! My children head the pack.
I've so missed Blickling Hall. After 6 years abroad, I'd gladly stay here with you forever.
Well, I'm afraid there's been a request from London.
Again? His Majesty Henry Tudor requests his most obedient diplomat Thomas Boleyn to join him at Whitehall Palace and lick his feet like a dog.
They're all pawns of royalty.
How long will he request you this time?
No time. King Henry requests the presence of you. Queen Catherine needs a maid of honour and...
I have no honour, do I, Father? I lost it in your service as mistress to the French king.
Catherine needs a lady-in-waiting.
Lady-in-waiting for what?
Please, your mother and I had you trained in Europe at great expense with precisely this ambition.
Ah, yes, I'm the child of ambition.
What can we do? There's no one else left. Your brother George is close to King Henry, but feckless. Your sister's losing her grip on Henry's love, and since Cardinal Wolsey became his favoured counsel, Henry's opinion of me can only be shuddered at.
Then, as a mere lady-in-waiting, I'm somehow to restore our influence on the crown.
Oh, 20 years old and brighter than us all.
But I've only just returned to you here at Blickling.
Blickling Hall and I can wait.
Oh.
Go to London, daughter. Hone your skills at court. When a chance comes to strike, take it and rise in our family's name. Don't you dare come home till you do.
Rise, woman. Obey father's command from 14 years ago. No chance of reprieve now, or a return home. As morning creeps nearer under the door, it seems I'm in 2 prisons. This jail I rot in, so far from home, and of course the jail of my body. When once my body was the tool by which I rose high above the crowd. Not broken and useless here in the bloody White Tower, but pampered and cherished in the palace of Whitehall. This, I now know, was the time of my life.
My Lady Anne, you move like Diana.
The huntress.
The goddess!
I've a gallant partner to lead me.
Oh, who's that?
Why, you, Lord Percy.
Oh yes!
The new girl. Black eyes, olive skin. She's even more comely than her sister. And the way she dances, look. Thrusting those breasts.
Lord Percy's bewitched.
Indeed. I can't imagine what she sees in him.
After 6 years in Paris, Anne's ready for anyone who'll help her rise.
And you, George? Does she make you rise?
Wolsey, she's my sister. For a cardinal, you really are most impressively lit.
I'll be gone, George. I've work to do. Percy! Percy, might I borrow Lady Anne?
By all means.
I was remarking to your brother how daintily you dance.
Thank you.
And you enjoy Whitehall?
Cardinal, I'm honoured to be your guest here.
Unlike Her Majesty, alas.
Queen Catherine is dressing. She sent me
Word
out
is
here...
she's hiding in the chapel. King Henry arrives soon. If her lady-in-waiting could flush her out, there'll be favours given.
Hurry, Anne. Do your duty, make father proud. You sad little pawn in the game of royalty. Black pawn to white queen. Bishop's Chapel.
Henri, diablo, vamos!
It's Anne, your majesty. King Henry will arrive soon, wishing you to partner him.
Oh, he lacks a partner for the dance. I lack a partner for in bed. When Henry was in France, I ruled this land for him. Now he hates me because I cannot bear him a son, and hurts me by placing you, a Boleyn, for my lady-in-waiting.
Majesty, take my place.
Did you know he takes your sister Mary in chapel?
Cover yourself.
The same chapel where I beg Jesu save our marriage.
The servants...
I pray Jesu make me young again. He doesn't hear, and I lose to Henry's mistress. Your sister, Boleyn.
The past comes back unbidden. My body is a living corpse, frozen in terror, worn with age, stretched by motherhood, insulted, neglected by time. For we all have our time, don't we? And mine, like the Queen's before, is running out. I'm only 35 years, yet I feel old as the grave. Perhaps my coming execution's for the best. At least this defeat will free me from the prison of time. Yet victory was mine, beyond imagining, while she prayed in Latin to her deaf god. How could Catherine know that her lady-in-waiting, her meek black pawn, would soon unleash a power so irresistible it'd destroy 100 abbeys, 1,000 churches, 10,000 chapels? I mean a man's lust for a woman, a love which shook heaven and brought us down to this. Never. That tune, so cruel, do they use it to mock me? Or is it a sign that morning's here and it's time for... Stop, whoever you are, if you dare whistle his tune. Let me see the king.
Too kind, my friends, enough. A man might play a fine tune, yet he is nowhere without the unsung talent around him. Yes, any king stands or falls by the quality of his court. Remember this, you're each at Hampton Court not on sufferance nor because of family title, but on your merit alone. Now, join with me in welcoming the Dutch envoy. Throw open the doors to Wolsey's country house and enjoy the feast within. After hearing me play, you deserve it.
Henry Tudor, the king with his head on every coin. Brother George's drinking mate. My sister Mary's fickle lover. Each passing month he grows more wise. He is greatness in the making.
How is the Queen?
Less well, sire. Given to reading the Bible all hours, only eating or sleeping fitfully.
She hates me, of course.
Forgive me. I think not. I think she misses you.
May we walk? I saw you enjoying my performance. Take this.
A rose?
The King Henry, a new breed to mark a new age of chivalry and romance. Open it.
Sire?
Slide your fingers between its lips and open up the heart.
A worm! Oh, maggot! Oh!
I often put maggots in my roses.
Why?
Ut pictura poesis, Horace said. A picture is a poem. And here the picture is maggot and rose.
Maggot and rose. Decay within beauty.
Correct. Even the purest heart conceals a monster waiting to eat it alive.
Oh, damn! Keys. Oh, the bloody way up here.
He's gone. I breathe again. Just when the jailer forgot his keys to my cell, I begin to recall the keys to my life. What luck! His cruel whistling was meant to torment me. Instead, it reminds me of the power I once held. Please, God, bring my power back. This time I'll use it wisely. London and heaven are glad to ignore me now, when once they trembled to obey and hung on my every word.
Words, music, pictures, buildings, memory. The past reaches out to us from everywhere. Though any source taken alone is incomplete, together we can weave them into a history. The history of days gone by and days to come.
Hampton Court, July the 3rd, 1525. Dear Father, to escape the flies of summer and the sweating sickness all around, we are out of London. 3 men battle for my heart. Mark Smeaton, Tom Wyatt, and Lord Percy, who I have made a little love with, though Cardinal Wolsey is trying to wreck the affair, under whose orders I cannot divine. Brother George becomes ever more feckless. Also, despite her marriage, Sister Mary remains under the king's spell, and is, I fear, being abused in this.
Por Dios.
Majesty. Most troubling is Henry's neglect of Catherine, a disaster for my career as her lady-in-waiting. After a promising start with the king, I find him as changeable toward me as the season, warm periods broken by thunder. Lately he avoids me. I think he views me as little more than his wife's spy.
You awake?
I'm always awake, Mary, at the wrong end of the bed.
Oh, tucked up with Catherine's mouldy old feet. Follow me.
Where?
To where my true heart waits. We could make my true heart very happy.
Mary, your husband's in France.
My true heart asked me to give you this.
A rose?
And a message.
Tell me.
Time for the monster.
For shame.
All you're doing is crossing the short distance from the Queen's room to the King's.
To plan this while I lay next to his wife. To use you, my own sister, as a messenger.
I'm desperate. You've no idea how it hurts to lose Henry's love. Together we might keep him satisfied, keep our family's grip on the crown. Isn't that your ambition?
Ambition?
I know you don't like me, Anne. You've never forgiven me for being prettier than you. So if you won't do this for me, do it for Father.
Ah, the twin black ships of Norfolk. Your father sold me Mary. First, a decent barge, the Mary Boleyn, but no longer enough for my travels. I needed another. Your father said he'd only one left, built and moored at Lowestoft. The name on the prow, Anne Boleyn. I bought it, and now I've the pair, Anne and Mary, to ride wherever, whenever.
Too late, I realise dear father's a pimp, and we, his daughters, have been sold to Henry like the boats he names after us.
Nightgowns! Off! Let our pleasure cruise begin!
No!
Pride. A spirit lacking in every other Boleyn. Anne, are we to take your no as no, sire, I'll not remove my nightgown, or as no, sire, you may not have me tonight?
My no is no, sire. You shall not have me at all. I am not my father's boat. I'm not the king's whore. Where's my room? Which door? I took a wrong turn. All these palaces, endless corridors of power. I'm trapped. No escape from duty. No way home to Blinkling Hall.
Door opens. My jailer enters my cell. He's tall. Dressed like a harlequin for some reason, his jerkin covered in words. Is he trying to make a joke of this? Have my enemies sent a jester to humiliate me? He brings food. One last meal for a condemned woman.
Oh.
Is this man my executioner? Or my saviour? Sir, I'm a wronged woman, innocent of all charges, and I ask you, please, take a message to her.
Oh, can't anyone leave me alone in peace?
He looked right past me, walked straight through me as if I was not here. It seems the Tower of London has a ghost. And being dead, he's the one soul in England who bears me no malice. On the morning of my death, he's a miracle, because for now, instead of being dragged from this jail to the slaughter, I live.
If history is our school, hindsight is our teacher. From it we learn the present is created by the past. The key event to change Anne Boleyn's future has already taken place. All that matters now, as her father once told her, is choosing the moment to strike.
Bullseye! Woodstock Palace suits you, Anne. In archery as in court, you score highly.
It's easy, Cardinal. String an arrow, draw the bow.
I was really talking more about the arrow you shot through the heart of King Henry.
Indeed.
Anne, to deny the king who has everything the one thing he has not is a brilliant stratagem. Now, end it. Take your turn in Henry's bed, and when he's moved on to his next romance, we'll reward you with a title.
You mean a bribe?
In England, we prefer to call it an honour.
Cardinal Wolsey, being under the watch of angels, I must stay moral. I cannot sleep with Henry unless...
Come, Anne, name your price.
My price is divorce.
Were the king mad enough to even think about divorcing Queen Catherine, a Spaniard, I remind you? The web of political alliances I built up in Europe would tear apart, to say nothing of the effect on the church. Unless you submit to Henry's lust, and soon there could be a holy war.
Here is my conscience, and my position, Cardinal. No divorce for Henry, no Anne for Henry.
Very Christian. On your own head be it.
It's turning into a game with a dangerous king. So let us consider the fate of pawns. Weakest piece on the chessboard, sacrificed for any knight or bishop or cardinal. Yet sometimes, by a fluke, one meek pawn beats fate, slips through enemy lines to cross the board untaken. That's the moment a pawn becomes a queen.
Can I look yet?
Open your eyes, Henry. See my gift to you.
A book?
How Christian rulers ought to govern. The writer proposes one king to head the church, one queen to help him, and no more meddling from the corrupt Latin tyranny of the Pope.
Fascinating.
Promise to read it.
If you promise to share my bed. Anne, you've had so many men.
Oh, this is gossip and rumours.
Percy, Wyatt, Smeaton, not to mention half of France.
The matter is closed. While Catherine's your wife, we must forego our lust. God's word is absolute.
Agreed. Now, I've a gift for you.
The Bible. In English. How modern. Have I finally convinced you to reform the church?
Reform begins at home, Anne. Read from the marker.
Leviticus 20:21. If a man shall take his brother's wife, it is an unclean thing. They shall be childless.
There. In the King's English.
What?
That man is me.
How so?
Didn't I marry Arthur's wife, Catherine, when he died? I took my brother's wife. It was an unclean thing. Thus am I childless.
What of Princess Mary?
I mean boyless, which is even worse.
You had a boy by Catherine also.
Get in the crib.
And Fitzroy, your son by Bessie Blount.
He's a bastard. I need a real son and heir to the throne.
True, but the Bible says childless, Henry.
This Bible says childless because it's translated by fools. Leviticus 20:21 should read, if a man takes his brother's wife, their lust is sinful, so they're forever denied a legitimate son.
You claim your marriage to Queen Catherine is void.
On grounds of incest.
Then Princess Mary's as much a bastard as Fitzroy.
The years I've waited, the seed I've wasted. All this time you refuse me your body unless I divorce Catherine.
Yes.
Yes? When all this time the Bible shows I did need, and will need no divorce. Because in God's eyes, I was never even married. Marry me. And I promise our sons will rule this land. Any monk or priest who objects shall answer to Henry Tudor, defender of the faith, God's fist on earth. Let the Vatican beware. I'll have you body and soul, Anne, even if I must torch every church from here to Rome.
Hold him, Anne. Ride your white knight. Grip him tight between your thighs and never let go. We open our eyes. The illusion decays. Gone the white knave who took me, stripped me bare, lost my looks, youth, wealth, rank, faith, friends, family. Gone my child, my only living darling child, all stolen by Henry. Fire. Impossible. I chose the sword, remember? You vowed, you promised not to burn me. As I retreat toward the window, I glide under the curtain. Windows jammed, no escape, but here at least it's cooler. The view down in the tower yard is so familiar, I can see it with my eyes closed. There'll be cannon, yeomen, drums, the Thames, a gathering crowd. Ah, yes, upon a scaffold waits a man in a black hood, whetting a sword. The blades, French, thick enough to hack through bone, for they gave me the choice, didn't they? Would Lady Anne prefer to burn as a witch, or be gently butchered like a queen? How unlike my debut here, less than 36 months ago. It feels like 36 lifetimes.
Once I was bought and sold like the family boat. Now I possess the boat of my rival. Catherine of Aragon's royal barge carries me toward a new home, through a city on fire with the news that I am with child. On the happiest day of my life, I enter the Tower of London. Black Queen to King's Castle. I'm in. I win.
Ambition never sleeps, just as victory is never complete. Even tonight, Anne meets her trusted ally Tom Cromwell to seal her triumph over Henry's first wife.
So we make the clergy swear loyalty to the crown.
And make it a treasonable offence for anyone to insult you.
Might that be rather extreme?
The crowd who insulted you this evening are papists, politically inspired in the pay of Catherine and Rome.
Really? They sounded more drunk than treacherous.
They were chanting the names of your lovers.
My alleged lovers, Tom. Harmless gossip from years ago.
Our reforms and your reputation can only survive if we enforce royal supremacy over the church.
I'll see the king reads these documents tomorrow.
I outstay my welcome. Good night.
Henry.
You and Tom Cromwell. Forever scheming.
Were you hiding from us?
I was up the passage. Spent an hour or two on the harpsichord with your new lady-in-waiting.
Jane Seymour.
Very shy.
Such a harmless little thing. Now, to bed.
Yes. I'll lay my head on your belly and listen for the kicking of our son.
Oh, please don't tempt fate. Much as we pray for a boy.
Fate is ours to change, Anne. And tomorrow we prove it in Westminster Abbey by crowning you my queen.
Queen Anne of Westminster Abbey, Queen Anne of Hampton Court, Queen Anne of Greenwich Palace, Queen Anne of Blickling Hall, Queen Anne of the Tower of London. Execution is coronation's twin. First, they put a crown upon your crown, then remove both. First, they tap your shoulder with a sword, bid you rise, then slice it across your neck and you fall. Lifeblood gushing hot down arms and dress. I'm up here! Now take me! Get it over! I beg you have the grace to end it! In answer, a fury. Past the window fly huge metal ravens which roar and never flap their wings. What's happening? Am I mad? Keep control, Anne. If you value your sanity, don't look out of the window. Hunt for clues within. Pick through this mess of food. Plate, knife, bread. Strangely white. And no vermin eat the crumbs. A sweetmeat dedicated to Mars, the god of war. How ominous. Underneath is a coat of arms and writing, which time has chipped and faded by point meant to Her Majesty Queen. That name. But heaven knows there is, was, and has never yet been a head of state in England called Elizabeth. Be a boy, 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 be a boy.
Good, Your Majesty, breathe. Bear down for one more push.
Be a boy, 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 be a boy. Nurse, is it born?
The child's perfect, with one deformity.
What?
There, between its legs.
My poor little scrap. How are we going to tell Henry you're...
Leave us. From the blackness of your eyes, Anne, I know it's a girl.
Meet Elizabeth Tudor, our princess. Would you care to hold her?
Elizabeth. Pity me, daughter, surrounded by women I worship, not one of whom can deliver me my son.
Be patient. I'll bear you a son.
Next time, always next
Cherish
time.
Elizabeth.
The Black Queen will follow royal tradition, walk to that window, fling it wide, break to the people of London our happy news.
Come, Elizabeth. Red hair, bright eyes, so like your father. A glimpse of you, the people's dismay will... Yes, I'll pull back this curtain. Present you to London not as a failure, but as future Queen of England.
How soon a rise to power can become a fall from grace. July 1535. After Wolsey's troubled death and Elizabeth's troubled birth, comes the case of Thomas More.
Sir Thomas, you still refuse to accept King Henry as head of the church?
No law on earth can make a king head of the church.
So be it.
Another head rolls. The wheel turns full circle. Born of religious idealism, now manipulated by Thomas Cromwell on behalf of a tyrant, the Reformation begins to crush the very forces and people who gave it life.
He's late.
He'll be here.
He's lost.
He'll find us.
Dusk. Though my prison's filling with voices, I remain untouched. Who knows? I could even survive till nightfall, even if it's just to die another day. The torture comes with not knowing who's alive and who a ghost, never knowing what became of my baby, Elizabeth. If hell exists, I'm in it now.
It's him.
He's here?
He found.
At last.
He, a voice said. Could it be Henry? With a pardon? Although I fear to behold the scene of my execution, we can't find what we're not looking for, can we? So it's time to look through the tower window. Dear God! Nothing. London and the Thames are gone, replaced by trees, a dry moat, and through the evening mist a bright metal carriage that arrives with a roll of thunder. Where am I? Courage, Anne. Look deeper, through the skin of things. I know where I am. But it's impossible. How could I be here? Why is it so changed? Answer! Someone tell me! How did I escape the Tower of London and return to my beloved Blickling Hall?
May Day, 1536. His Majesty invites all comers to a royal tournament at Greenwich. Behind the scenes, a trap is laid to catch the blind and the unwary.
Brother, you look magnificent.
After years of drinking, I still fit my armour, eh?
The king will envy you.
You should. Whenever he tries jousting nowadays, he falls off his horse. Fat, bald, and infertile, that's your husband.
Enough! Henry is not to blame for the tragedy.
Was it a boy?
Huh?
Your miscarriage. According to the rumour, it was a boy.
He was. Poor little scrap, it was so deformed.
Our enemies call it the fetus of a witch.
Since Catherine died, our enemies grow bolder.
They have the bait to lure Henry away from you.
You mean shy Jane Seymour, my lady-in-waiting, who lies in wait for her turn in the king's bed?
She has youth in her favour.
I'm so glad Elizabeth's been sent far away from all this.
Today, Henry arrested Wyatt and Smeaton.
On what charge?
No one dares ask. But Anne, weren't they both once?
My lovers, a poet and a lute player. Oh, you know that's old gossip.
Cromwell has them under guard.
George, he's my ally.
He was. Today you stand between him and power. He'll use anyone to find a way to bring you down. And now you failed again to produce a son and heir. Will Henry protect you?
Who's next to fight? Norris, is it? And in comes his foe, pretty George Boleyn.
Henry and I hardly speak anymore.
Alas, my jousting days are behind me.
Our words fly past each other unheard,
Though I still hanker to teach a child.
leaving nothing between us.
I'd show the lad how to thrust and parry.
Except what's unsaid.
And when the time came, how to deal the killer blow, then ride away untouched to fight another day.
Henry, I'm still young. We'll try again for a boy, and this time
But the weapons are aimed, Anne. Visors lowered. A beast is on the charge, unstoppable beyond control. The rose will be crushed by the hooves of the monster. If only we could have had a son.
Bad luck, George! I'm afraid the brother you love so much is unseated, loses the joust.
Never mind that. Where's Henry going? Henry!
His Majesty's been called away, hunting.
You mean hunting Jane Seymour?
Perhaps.
Cromwell, why are you sitting in his chair?
His Majesty left me in charge of you, while confessions are extracted from the others.
Confessions?
Smeaton, the lute player.
Yes, I heard you arrested him.
Also Norris, Weston, Brereton.
My friends. What crime have they...
Surely you know. They're accused of conspiracy.
Against whom?
The king.
Never.
And adultery.
What?
But they're only pawns in the game, to be hung, drawn and quartered once they admit their part in the orgies.
Orgies?
The orgies led by you and your brother.
Oh, Tom, you overplay your hand.
Who'll both, of course, be tried for incest.
This is a Mayday prank.
Bullen the whore who sinned with a feckless brother, Bullen the witch who bore only girls and monsters, Bullen the poisoner who'd have murdered the king.
Stop!
This is the royal box. You can go loudly like a beggar, or with the dignity of a queen.
Tom, we're allies. I never hurt you or hindered your career. We've done so much good.
Times change, as do the needs of state. Our reformation is over. England must rebuild links with the Catholic Church. Guards!
No! Treason!
Take her!
Henry! I must speak to Henry!
Steady!
Tower of London. By barge I left here to be crowned. By barge I return as a traitor. Marriage annulled. Daughter bastardized. Stripped of everything so the king can marry Jane Seymour.
Watch the step. Mind your fingers, eh? All 11 of them.
Black Queen to King's Castle. Checkmate.
Where is Henry?
May the 19th, 1536. Drums, the Thames, a crowd, a scaffold, a man, black hood, a sword, and no Henry.
Any last words, my Lady Anne?
I forgive my father's cowardice as a daughter must, look forward to the next life as a Christian must, hate Jane Seymour as a woman must, and as a mother must, I weep for my only child, powerless, friendless, and forever beyond my help. Daughter, I'd suffer the torments of hell just to hold you once more in my hands. I wanted to tell you, but can't. Long to whisper 5 words you'll never hear. Elizabeth, you have been loved. Our crime? We see what we wish to see and disregard the rest. Our punishment, to spend our lives blindfold, and now my blindfold falls, revealing what? That I never escaped the Tower of London. I came home, didn't I? To this room, which I admit I mistook for a cell in the tower, but which is in reality nothing worse than an attic in Blickling Hall, made unrecognizable during my years away. Confusion was natural, for in my Blickling Hall, none of this was here. Not the yew hedges, nor the dry moat, nor the clock tower, nor the high chimneys, nor the ornate windows, nor the carriages that move without pulling, nor the silver ravens that roar in the sky, neither the furnace in the hearth, nor the locked door. All this time my only prison was my sense of guilt. I float down the staircase. I am in my element, and my element is night. So farewell, Blickling. Through your great front doors I leave you in peace, to summon my coach and 4 galloping horses, and begin my life all over. Well, behind the door, a mirror, and me reflected, dressed as I was that day, from the neck down and from my neck up. The strangest thing, mirror's cracked, it seems. Yes, there's a piece missing, surely. For when I look into the mirror above my pretty neck, I find myself without a head.
Built in the 17th century, Blickling Hall is one of England's finest Jacobean manors. Concealed within its tapestries and plastered ceilings is the skeleton of an earlier house, whose most famous occupant was Anne Boleyn, second of Henry VIII's 6 wives. For reasons I touched on earlier, Anne was beheaded in the Tower of London nearly 500 years ago to make way for the young Jane Seymour. Now, if we proceed...
Excuse me.
Yes?
Sorry, silly question, but is this house haunted?
Some people do claim that on the day of her death, and upon its anniversary ever since, Blickling Hall is indeed haunted by Anne's headless ghost, entering the house from the Broad Walk, down which most of us have just driven to get here. Some even say the roads hereabout are possessed by her coach and 4 headless horses. But whatever folklore the guidebooks may tell you, the fact is that after her execution, Anne was bedded in the chapel of the Tower of London. In other words, I'm afraid she never came home.
How dare you deny my existence?
Now, if we proceed toward the long gallery, through the window on the right, you'll be able to see the statues of truth and justice.
They passed right through me. For centuries I've been haunting myself. I was my only illusion, the queen who dies every day, my younger half unknowing, my older half denying. Henry had me murdered. But what's this on the floor? A gold coin, dropped by someone in the crowd. My hand passes through it, of course, though if I squint I can just read £1 DG Reg FD 2002, and the head of a Queen Elizabeth II. What did I say once long ago? Heaven knows there is, was, and has never yet been an English head of state called... Yet here, today, there's already been 2. If so, is there a chance, just a ghost of a chance, that one of them was my daughter? I could face anything, even an eternity of haunting Blickling Hall, if baby Elizabeth, my poor little scrap, became queen and revenged me. Checkmate over Henry in the end.
Black Queen to King's Castle was written by Peter Wolfe. Anne Boleyn was played by Katherine Pogson, Henry by David Troughton, Thomas and Cromwell by Stephen Critchlow, Wolsey and More by David Timson, George by Peter Darney, The Guide by Christopher Godwin, Mary by Suzanne Heathcote, and Catherine by Marlene Sidaway. The play was directed by Cookson.